I want you to meet two guys who are really cut from a different cloth, who are really displaying leadership through the course of the pandemic and really demonstrating how any small business is moving forward. Mutt and Jeff are back. They are the first return visitors to this series about how small business moves forward. And Marc Langlois and Jeff Killin are joining us now. They're with ICP, International Custom Products. And Marc, we're going to go right to the plant and start with you, because when we last spoke on this segment, we talked about how you guys were ready. You were ready, willing, and able to pivot, to take whatever you guys were making at the plant and start jumping in right away to make medical masks, medical gowns, do everything you could do to actually support what's going on. So let's go down to the plant, Marc, and you tell us what happened.
Yeah, so our team's been working sort of night and day with government, with industry, and just trying to figure out how we can help out with this. And fortunately for us, and fortunately for our people, we got an order last week, and we started making masks right away. Here's one of them that we're making. And just yesterday we received an order for gowns, which we'll probably start making next week. So very proud of that. Proud of the team. It's and we've done a good job of putting the call out there. And now we're on the hiring spree because there's lots of orders coming.
That's fantastic news. And Jeff, you're working from home, and now you've got the cool background, and ICP is very much involved in the defense industry. But tell us a little bit about the coordination that has to happen and how teamwork really has to come into play when you're trying to basically overhaul a facility like you guys have done while working from home as well.
Yeah, well, as you can see, we're social distancing. No, it's seriously though, it is a challenge. Our whole team, everything's communicating over cell phones now. Just like any company, I think we've been inundated with a number of surprising IT issues as everyone's increased working from home. So we've been trying to navigate that. At our facility, at our production plant, we've instituted social distancing policies. We've moved workspaces around. Increased hand washing awareness, provided PPE for our workers. We're doing temperature checks on our staff as well. Just doing everything we can to try and make them feel safe and instill to our customers as well that what they're receiving is going to be free of any possible contamination. It's difficult. It's very difficult, but we're fortunate. We have 67,000 square feet, so we're not as cozy up as some of our other places. So we're able to, capitalize on that. And just as well, trying to reinforce to our staff that just like the people working, in grocery stores and our frontline healthcare heroes, they too are making a difference. Every day they come into work, every gown they pump out, every mask they get out is going to help protect somebody. And I think that's important for them to know.
Marc, you're the CEO. I want to hear from you vividly, especially there you are on the front lines. This has surfaced in earlier conversations, and people are from all over, business leaders from all over the world are watching some of these episodes. I'd love to hear your thoughts now, given when we spoke almost a month ago to where you are today, actually in production. Love to hear your thoughts on the difference between the Peacetime CEO and the Wartime CEO.
I think the biggest thing for us is speed. I'm having way more meetings than I normally would, whether they're Zoom calls like this one, or phone calls, or in person in our plant. The speed of change is just incredible. We had a new employee join us in October, and I asked her the other day in the lunchroom, while we were 6 feet apart, by the way, how things were going. And she said, well, it's just going so fast. It's way faster at this company than my last company. I said, well, it's not normally this fast. It's the environment out there, and we're changing priorities by the minute, by the hour, by the day. We were quoting on so much business, and we're trying to help out, and we're trying to just prioritize, what's the best thing to do for the greater good as well as for the company, and just make sure that we're doing our bit.
I'd love to hear both of you just chime in. We'll start with Jeff and then go right back to Mark. There are some business leaders, whether they're CEOs, whether they're entrepreneurs, whether they've got, executive management jobs, that are kind of overwhelmed a little bit by this, and at sometimes feel defeated. Starting with you, Jeff, what can you tell them that helps folks basically stay grounded, stay focused, and keep moving forward?
Well, I think the most important thing is you have to have a goal, right? You have to have that finish line, and you focus towards that. Something we used to do in the Army is when we're planning a mission, we'd know what our end state would be, and we'd work backwards from there. So if I have to get to a point and I have to do a reconnaissance mission, the end state is having checked out that position. Okay, how do I get to that position? How do I return back to my base? How do I ensure that all my people are accounted for? Find your end goal, work backwards from there. Trust your team. People want to help. People want to step up and go beyond. Sometimes they need a bit of direction, especially now when you're working from home or you're working in remote positions where you don't have that kind of back and forth you're used to. So try and reach out and maintain contact with your people, but give them the opportunity to step up themselves. You don't need to give them a list of day-to-day activities if you find that they're finding their own path.
Mark, what are your thoughts on that? People who might be a little bit down in the dumps, a little bit, discouraged, what can you tell them that helped you through this?
Two things, communication and routine. I've done a lot of reading. Jeff mentioned the military. I've listened to podcasts with military leaders, how they got through Afghanistan, and things like that. Having a routine, and albeit it's a new routine these days, whether it's Jeff working from home and getting up and walking the dog in the morning, or whatever the case may be, to having regular communication meetings to let everybody know this, it's a different time, and things are changing rapidly, but we're all in this together, and keeping busy, and keeping like Jeff says, set goals, and keeping communication flowing on a regular basis.
What are you most proud of right now, fellas? What really makes you proud right now when you consider that plant up until 3 weeks ago did not have any hope or any prospect of turning out the kind of products you are right now to help battle this thing on the front lines of public health?
Our team, our production and engineering teams are amazing. I can't say enough good things about them. We went from being a company where the customer comes to us and says, I want you to make this widget, here's a drawing, or help me design a widget, to finding medical documentation, creating samples, getting leads on material, and pumping out a compliant gown that will help our frontline staff in weeks. This is something that companies have been around doing this for 50 plus years, and they're having trouble adjusting to the demands right now. Our team, I would say our small team, has done such an excellent job this past couple weeks, both in communication and how proactive they've been in chasing down this information, reaching out to other potential partners, past competitors, just coming together from all angles to make this happen in the best interest of society. And now the fact that we're going to actually be doing this now, we're doing the masks and we're doing gowns, it's amazing. Mark,
your thoughts on that? What makes you proud right now?
Yeah, it's Jeff sort of stole my answer. It's amazing. I was very impatient, and I guess I get impatient when stuff's not happening. And it's really only been 5 weeks, it really, since the start of this, and really, I'll say 4 weeks since we got our first sniff at this. And here we are with a Canadian medical license, and we've already, shipped some product out. That's incredible. So it's to get over so many hurdles in such a short time. And you know, I thank our people every day, because you know, I can be demanding, but I think everybody knows we're all in this together, and it's just been amazing.
I personally have found guys like you to be incredibly inspiring. I've been very fortunate. I've been having these conversations with, as you know, folks like, you know, Darren Mitchell from PEI with Trout River Industries, Jeff Hoff out there in Prince George, British Columbia, Julia Olton from Tech Canada, Fraser Tolmie and Paul Martin out of Saskatchewan. So many folks. And what I've discovered is that everything is magnified through the course of this whole crisis. And right now, I've become even more convinced it's stories like yours, because when we first spoke, what was it, Mark? I'm guessing 3 or 4 weeks ago, it was a pretty grim situation, right? And so I think people need to hear there are stories like yours at ICP, that you guys are doing really positive things. The stories, in my view, need to be shared, because these are not the stories that we're getting in the media. And guys, there's great stories out there that are happening. John Krasinski's doing a wonderful thing with Some Good News on YouTube, but you guys likewise are doing some pretty incredible things to keep the spirits high. And that, I think, is a good place to end. How important right now is morale, especially knowing that social media can play such a significant role in lifting morale and lifting spirits?
Yeah, I have a short story on that one. We started making these masks, and you know, we've been buying the you know, the off the shelf ones for our people. And we had I went into one of the offices last week, and I saw one of the ladies. She had you know, a mask, something like this, but it was, you know, floral. It was very, you know, colorful. And I said, "What's that?" And she said, "The people want them for themselves." And almost gets me choked up that she just decided on her own to start making them for everybody.
Wow. Yeah. The power of the human spirit, Jeff.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about what you're seeing in terms of how creative and how good people really are in the face of this?
Oh, it's amazing to see everybody come together. Like I said, companies that traditionally would be competitors reaching out, establishing connections, and seeing how they can help each other out to produce this PPE. Seeing people who, you know, they maybe have a sewing machine at home because they mend their own garments. Now they're pumping out masks for local retirement homes and healthcare facilities. It's incredible. And that's something I think, if people are struggling, use your network. And now is a time to grow your network. People are starved right now for that person-to-person connection. And I haven't found a better time than now to reach out and try and establish a new connection with somebody. There's businesses that have closed that maybe you can help reopen. There's people out there that are looking to collaborate and to help, just like we were 3 weeks ago. We were desperately asking anybody who knew what anything about PPE, contact us. If you know material, contact us. Look where we are today. So keep pounding away, right? Keep pounding, and you'll get there.
Yeah, that's well said. Hey, Mark, I ripped this off your Facebook page. It's Hockey with Hearts. I think it is Hockey with a Heart. Mark, you've always led with the heart. There's the evidence on Facebook. You get the last word on what this is all about in terms of helping anyone watching today understand how much more power they have to keep moving forward.
It's the human spirit, I guess. Like you mentioned, it's when you get in tough times, people, the real people come out. And it's funny, I didn't realize you had that. I was like, that photo looks familiar in the background there.
And, well, that's why it is yours. You're in there.
Yeah. That's why I was like, where's that photo? But yeah, those folks, you know, they volunteer their time to help the homeless. And Christmas time every year, we a bunch of hockey guys get together and collect food in my hometown and help the homeless. And this is, you know, this is really no different than what we're doing here.
So let me wrap it up this way. Anything you want to know about medical gowns, medical masks, or if you know someone in the healthcare profession or in those industries that might need some additional supply, these are great guys. Jeff Killin and Marc Langlois. Mutt and Jeff, we really do. We so congratulate and applaud your efforts. Marc down at the plant, Jeff at home in his Top Gun, with his Top Gun background. But really, I think what ICP, International Custom Products, demonstrates, and these are guys who are cut from a different cloth. They're going to go over the wall. Real business warriors through these times, and really appreciate how they are demonstrating through actions how we can all lead together and make everything better for the greater good in these very historic times.